Well, I love casting. It's, I feel like I say this about every aspect of filmmaking, but it's really one of my favorite aspects is, putting the cast together. But I have to give Gabrielle Union a lot of credit for casting ideas that felt so right to me as well. We were just so in line with, she said, what about this person? What about Stilo for Tim? And I wasn't that familiar with Stilo. So we did a Zoom and I looked at his work and she was right. He was perfect. And, originally Niecy Nash was going to play the Darcy role and, had to move on for schedule reasons. And so we were looking for, who's our Darcy? And Gabrielle said, well, what about Gina Torres? I said, oh, yes, it's got to be Gina. And so then it was like convincing her to come play with us during her hiatus. And then with Keith Powers, it was so interesting because when I first met, before I was hired for the film, they said, we'd love it if you bring some casting ideas. So I had seen Keith's Instagram and I wasn't that familiar with him, but when I saw his Instagram page, of course, I'm like, this is a beautiful man. He would be great for Eric. But also I could just see something, I could see the artist in him through the photos that he would choose to post on his page and his story. He just felt like Eric to me. He felt like a filmmaker, like an artist and a beautiful man. And so his photo, and I told him this after we wrapped, it was his photo and his name that was on the lookbook that I brought in to my first meetings with the
Oh, wow.
producers. And so when Gabrielle saw it, she goes, oh, that's Keith, da, da, da. I know him. And so it was just perfect. It was the perfect find, everything just aligned just the way that it needed to. But a lot of ideas came from Gabrielle and they were great fits. And because she already has that history, you don't have to then try to build that history
Mhm.
within friendships or within a lovership, so it just helped the film be better and it helped us have more of a good time on set.
Yeah, I definitely just want to go back and talk about Gina Torres because the relationship that her and well, the chemistry that her and Gabrielle Union had was like so on par. Was
Yeah.
was it an immediate or was it like did it take some time to like get them acclimated into like
Uh, no,
I mean?
it was immediate. They were ready, and I had separate conversations with them where I'm on Jenna's side 100% and then I'm on Darcy's side 100%. I really understand both women's point of view as a mother and also as a woman who's dated younger, and dealt with interesting mothers, and maybe I'll be that interesting mother. I could just really relate to both sides of the story. And so their chemistry was instant. They had worked together before. It had been some years, but they knew of each other and they were ready to go toe to toe. So that's what was great about it. They really jumped in there and wanted to show that rivalry. And I wanted that rivalry to feel palpable to us because we all have a nemesis or think we do.
Right.
Yeah.
Stevie Woodside has a small role in this, and he and Gina Torres have starred in quite a bit. Was
Mm-hmm.
whose recommendation was he? Because I'm always curious. Yeah.
So, in the book, that character is, described as a white man, or
Mhm.
he is a white man in the book, and so there was all this conversation around, who are we gonna get, and just all the politics around it, like what actor, which white actor wants to be in this black movie, like the conversations got really interesting, and then Gabrielle said, well, does he have to be white? And I never thought anything
Yeah.
different. Loyal to a lot of the details in the book, but that just opened it wide open for me that, oh, like this isn't about her leaving proximity. Her breakup with him is not so devastating because she lost proximity to whiteness or
Mhm.
anything like that. Like none of those questions had to come up. It was really about how this just wasn't her guy,
Yeah.
and as much as she tried to force it, as much as she wanted it to be as it just wasn't her guy. So it took that that conversation out of the mix and opened it up to something that felt a little more intimate and real. And so, yeah, the suggestion came from her, and it made a lot of sense.
Now that I'm thinking about it, this was a completely all Black cast.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel that way at all, though. It just feels like a great love story. And I was thinking, like, this is kind of the first summer love story that we've had with a full Black cast. And it's
Yeah.
coming in the summer. And so it's like a summer romance that I think we all need. It's a very
I
light
feel the same
film.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we filmed 2 summers ago, and now we're coming out and we're premiering in New York, where we filmed in the summer. So everything is just lining up. I think it's, the title must be a spell of some
Yeah.
sort, because everything feels like the perfect find all the way through, like even down to how the film is rolling out. So oh, well, throughout the film, there's so many, little Easter eggs, for people that have seen certain films. There's a Pedro Almodovar reference towards the end of the film with a red couch. There's the film Roman Holiday and Breakfast at Tiffany's are referenced in the film. Also, When Harry Met Sally is a reference. And then there's actual footage, from school days, from Spike Lee's film, because I think that's, one of his outstanding works, especially the visual splendor of it all and the big dance pieces and everything. So pretty much all throughout the film, it's littered with that. I spread the love all the way through, because these are films that really impacted me, and I wanted to, bring a slice of them to what I was doing. Really, it's the notion of believing in love and the experience of love, wherever that takes you, no matter, how many bad decisions you've made, or, complicated scenarios. It's like, don't be afraid to still have the experience.
Mm, okay. I like that. I have my own interpretation, but I'm like, I like the way you explained it better.
Thank you.